Hi, my name is Ariel Schmidt, owner of Tranquility Rising here in Blue Ash, Ohio, right above Cincinnati. And I am going to show you a little technique that will help to reduce the triple heater, which is one of the things that gets turned on when we have fight or flight in our life. And usually when fight or flight happens, the meridian line known as the triple heater stays on, and it's really hard to turn it off. So the technique I'm about to show you is called decompression technique, or also Delsarte movements, which talks about taking apart each section of the body into 3 different parts: mind, body, spirit, and making sure that they are flowing really well together. The technique that we're working on today specifically emphasizes on the shoulders and the neck to help reduce the stress that we feel all the time. So if you're a person that says, oh, I carry all my stress in my shoulders, we kind of all do, because major meridian lines run through the tops of the shoulders and connect and overflow each other. So with this technique, we're able to remove that buzzing of the meridian line and let it relax and have a nice natural flow. So this technique is going to take about 10 to 15 minutes depending on how slow you are, and depending on if you want to incorporate the water element by doing some forward folds. I'm going to show you just one rotation through the forward folds, but you're more than welcome to incorporate them anytime. So what you're going to do is you're just going to check out your shoulder length, see if they're really high or they're pretty relaxed, and just notice where your hands fall next to the body. So mine are falling right at mid-thigh. And by the end of this, you're going to notice, I'm going to start with my right hand. The right hand is actually going to be lower than the left side without me having to reach for it. And I can reach for it, but all of a sudden I feel this tension get pulled in my shoulder. Well, that tension is going to be removed after this technique. So what you're going to do is kind of shake it out, get nice and relaxed. And you're going to inhale the right elbow, allowing the forearm and the hand to just be loose. If for some reason it's turned on, you can shake it, you can even hit it if you want. Just make sure it's really loose. And then exhale, throw that arm out, and you're going to notice that the hand is still really loose. Again, you can kind of shake it, you can move it, making sure those fingers are turned off. And then you just turn the wrist on. So again, fingers are still really relaxed. If you're sending them straight out or you're clenching them, see if you can relax them as you turn that wrist on. Then slowly you bring the fingers, knuckle by knuckle, all the way out. And then I like to look around with that palm, just gentle sway side to side. Taking a few deep breaths, maybe closing your eyes. And when you're ready to bring this down, we're going to go the same way in reverse. So your fingers are kind of just going to go kerplop, and the wrist and the forearm. Take a breath in and just allow the arm to drop. You're not forcing it, you're just allowing it to drop. And if you can see, I'm not reaching, but this right hand is already lower than the left by quite a lot. And you can see I'm really off balance through the shoulders. So I talked about incorporating that forward fold to help open up the back body, which is also our water meridian. So if that's something you struggle with, you can just tuck the head and just roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down, taking it as slowly as you can. And when you start to get close to that low back space, just squeeze the belly in. Again, taking as long as you need to. Finding that ujjayi breath if you can. And then once you get to the bottom, you can sway side to side. You can tuck the hands under the feet, rock forward and back. Or you can just start rolling all the way back up right away. And you're noticing how slow I'm moving. And the last thing that should arrive is the head. And it should kind of just plop into place. So you always want to do the decompression technique twice on each side. So we're going to do the right side again, inhaling the right elbow up, exhaling the forearm out, turning the wrist on, but the fingers are still loose. And then open up those fingers and just look around with the palm. Just gently swing side to side. And if you're someone who's feeling sensation through this armpit or chest area because it's really tight, that's just opening up those fire meridians. And maybe you want to incorporate those forward rolls a little bit to help cool that fire meridian off. So we come back to center. We drop the fingers, the wrist, the elbow, breath in, and don't force it down, just let it drop. And now my hands are really at a different space on my legs. Okay, so again, you can drop down into a forward fold, roll back up, and do that between each section, but I'm just going to keep going. We're going to go left side next. So inhale that left elbow. Exhale the forearm. Turn the wrist on. Fingers are still loose. Reach those fingers up. Look around with the palm. Just allow your eyes to close if it feels good. Come back to center. Fingers, wrist, forearm, breath in, and drop. So I'm getting a little bit closer, but that left arm is just really tight on me. So I'm going to do it again, but if you find that one side is much tighter than the other, you can do that side until they get back even. So inhale, left side, elbow. Exhale the forearm. Turn the wrists on, fingers off. Turn those fingers on. Look around with the palm. Just gently sway side to side. Back to center. Fingers, wrist, forearm. Breath in and out. Okay, so I can still feel my left side is a lot higher, but for the purposes of the video, we're going to pretend like they're even now. They're pretty close, but I think one more round for me would do wonders. So that's the decompression. So now we're going to bring this up into the neck, and I'm going to get a little bit closer to you. You're going to inhale the right arm up. Take that L shape, bring it around the left ear. So if it's your right hand, it's left ear, and you're just kind of holding the head. You're going to inhale, lift the head up, and then to the side, 45-degree angle. And then you're going to take the left hand and you're going to go right next to the spine and pretend like you're scooping the muscle away from the spine. If you don't notice a channel, a little path between muscle and spine, that just means that that meridian has a little blockage in it. And as we pull that muscle away, you might find some really tender spots. But you also might start to notice that a small channel starts to develop. And you can take that down into the shoulder. And it's just a scooping. So my fingers are just scooped and I'm just pulling from the back forward. And I'm not moving across the skin. I'm just pulling that muscle. Okay, and then you can unwind, allow your head to drop to the center, bring it back up, and just notice how open that left side feels. You'll do the same thing on the left side. Inhale that left arm up, L shape, around the ear. Take the right hand, find the space right between the spine and the muscle, and we just gently pull it away. And you can do this as long as you would like. There is no spend 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and it'll be good to go. It's just whatever feels best for you. Make sure you get all the way up into the crown of the head, into those soft spots, and all the way down into the base of the neck before moving out to the shoulder. And again, I'm not moving across the skin. If I am, it's very minor. And then we unwind, and we just allow ourselves to feel into that space. Notice how open that feels, and if you'd like to take another forward roll, you can always do forward rolls before going to each side. The other thing you can do is, instead of doing right side, left side, left side, you can do all right side, so the decompression, 2 or 3 or as many as you feel it's needed, and then go right into this and then do the other side. It's a very free practice. It's trying to create space within the body, and you're gonna feel that tension release from the shoulders and the neck, and it's gonna help calm that triple heater meridian line, as well as opening up the bladder line. So water is bladder line, water cools fire, and the triple heater is part of the fire meridian. So when we open up the bladder, which is right next to the spine, it helps calm the triple heater down as well. And there's one last thing you can do with this technique to really kind of finalize it and kind of reset the body. Stepping feet just past shoulder width, or if you're on your yoga mat width apart, and then just allow your arms to swing, and the back of your hands are just hitting this kidney space on the back body. Now you're allowing the heels to lift off, and if you keep the head looking forward, that's going to allow to twist all the way up into those cervical vertebrae. And when you're getting ready and you feel like you're good to go, just imagine, as a child, you might have seen or even remember yourself just kind of swaying side to side. It's very freeing. It brings out that playful nature of the body and just really self-soothes that nervous system, which is what we're trying to do to get ourselves out of fight or flight. How do we soothe the parasympathetic nervous system so that we're no longer activating that triple heater meridian? And we just gently kind of coast back to center. I always like to end those type of sessions with mountain pose, which is just palms forward, eyes closed. Checking in to see where your chin's at. It should be level to the floor, not high, not tucked. Everything's just in alignment. And then noticing maybe the fingers, the arms. There might be some tingling in the kidney space, in the hands and the palms. And that's just that energy that we opened up throughout those meridian lines. And if you've never experienced that, it's really cool. It's almost like a little pulsing, or the palms can be really warm. And you can stay there as long as you'd like. So try it out, especially if you've been triggered with some type of trauma in your day, or maybe it was a week ago. Like I said, once the triple heater turns on, it's really hard to turn it off sometimes. So incorporating this type of decompression technique, or the Delsarte movements, which can actually be done throughout the whole body, not just the arms, really allows us to tap into that mind-body connection. If you have questions, drop a comment below. I would love to answer them in another video. And I hope you find yourself feeling a lot less fiery at the end of this practice. Have a great day.